Hey everyone, this is Wulfrun, and I'm coming to you from the Eve Echoes universe. I've started playing this game in the last week or so. Absolutely love it. It reminds me of some of my experiences playing previous games. I never actually played Eve Online for lots of different reasons, but this has been one of my go-to games now for a lot of fun. And so what I'm going to look at is, in this last week, one of the things, of course, you've got to do in Eve Echoes is make money in order to get the better equipment. And one of the fastest ways to make money as a new player I found is mining. It may not be the most fun, and I'm going to make this plain. I don't go and just do mining, not a bot in those senses. For fun, I go ratting, I do the encounters, I do everything else. But I will do a bit of mining on the side to make sure I can make some money, and I make some pretty good money doing it. So I'm going to take you through the process of doing the mining. There's going to be multiple videos. This one's going to be focused solely on the way to mine, how to set it up and looking at the skills, and then I'm going to do other videos on the reprocessing and that part of the money making, so you can really understand the best way it is for you to make money. Now, so really one of the first thing you're going to need is the mining vessel. That's the venture miner. We're not going to talk about strip mining, which is a completely different skill set, completely different in the trees. Here on the screen you can see this is my venture 2. I can't get a venture 3 until I'm tech level 6, which should hopefully be very shortly, but this is the best mining you can get at tech level 5. If you're not there yet, don't worry. Once you've done the tutorial, I highly recommend you do the advanced tutorials, because an advanced tutorial 2, I think, yep, there it is, you can get the Venture Trainer. That's going to be your first mining ship. You can also get the Venture thereafter and the Venture 2 after that. Each one, of course, goes up, but the Venture Trainer is a great place to start. And basically, in terms of the stats, of course, what they give you is a bit of mining bonus. You can put a drone on the Venture Trainer. You can put the drone on any of the Ventures. Absolutely pointless. Don't bother. If you're going to get into a fight, you're not going to win. And the whole purpose of this is to avoid fights. But so firstly, you can get started with pretty much a free ship. You're going to have to equip it. And I'm going to show you how to equip it. And I'll show you what I'm currently using and how you can get there with that. So what you're going to need when we're looking at ship fittings, you're going to need some mining lasers. So I've currently got the Mark 5 miner attached. If I open that up, and you can see they have a good optimal range, and they mine very efficiently. Now, if you're just starting out, the Mark 5 lasers might be quite expensive for you at the moment. Yeah, they're about 300 or 1,000 per miner. You can get a Mark 3 laser cheaper. It's 45,000 ish, I think, on the market. Let's go have a look. Always takes a moment to load, doesn't it? So under here you can find harvest equipment. There's the Mark 3 laser. As you can see, it's got slightly less optimal range and it's slightly less efficient. And one of the things is you do want to upgrade as quickly as possible because you want to be as efficient as possible when mining. And there you go, from about 40,000, I would have thought you're going to pay about 45,000 for your Mark III mining lasers. So you're going to need 2 of those to put onto your ship. The one thing I've put onto my ship now is a warp core stabilizer. It's expensive, and so when you're starting out, I certainly don't recommend it. You can get it later, and that's effectively in case someone jumps in, tries to pirate you, and they've got a jammer. Which has happened to me on one occasion so far. I have lost so far, certainly lost the Venture Trainer once in my own stupidity learning how to mine, so hopefully this guide will help you understand what not to do. And I've lost one Venture when I was AFK, and that's certainly something I definitely don't advise in terms of mining, because you'll find people like me will go and pirate miners as well. I'm as guilty of it as other people are. So eventually you might want to put a warp core stabilizer on. You can put on a shield booster, you can put on an afterburner. Any of those things can help. In terms of mid-slots, I don't really see the point of anything. Just to start off in your venture trainer, just put the mining lasers on is absolutely fine. That's what I did, and I made a lot of money doing it. So that's absolutely what you need to do. In terms of rigs, they're quite difficult to come across on the market, but I have got a couple of rigs for myself. I certainly wouldn't put them on straight away because you want to upgrade to the Venture 2 quite quickly. And in terms of rigs, I've got this one, which increases the activation time on the lasers, which again just improves speed and efficiency. And this one made a huge difference. This is my efficiency rig. Gave you a 20% bonus on that. Now these are difficult to come across. So you see that's about 3.5 million. It's going to cost you the same amount as it will cost you to buy the Venture 2 itself. In terms of the ships, if we just go quickly look at them on the market for you, so you can see what the current market prices are under industrial ships. Obviously the Venture trainer you have, it's insurable, so it's not a problem. The Venture itself, and basically what the difference with each of these ventures is they give you bigger bonuses, and crucially what the Venture has is this ore hold capacity. Basically it can hold a lot of ore, way more than any of the ships. You can start mining in a destroyer if you want to, you can start mining in a cruiser if you wanted and put the mining lasers on to that ship, but they are all holds. Their holds in total are about 900 cubic meters, and that simply isn't enough. It's not efficient. You want to get going on the Ventures as soon as possible because of the size of their ore holes. So that's the Venture. Pretty reasonable. You can pick one up, but looks like about 500,000. The Venture trainer, well, you can see it's cheap, but it is also insurable. This is what you can get for free from doing the tutorial, which just said, as I said, highly recommend. So you can see the ore hold there is 2,500, and then I'm currently in the Venture 2, which has an ore hold of 6,000, and that makes, as I said, a huge difference. So I mean that's effectively how I set it up. In terms of the other things, you can find them on the market. The hardest thing you'll have to find are the rigs. If you look at engineering rigs, industrial rigs, you've got minor efficiency. As I said, that's about almost 4 million. And the minor circulation, well, in fact, I never paid that much for that. That's a huge amount. I must have got it an absolute steal. So you can see setting up. So as I said, don't spend the money on the rigs until you're happy. If you're going to go to the Venture 3, it's going to cost you a lot of money to buy it. But I think that's the only choice you've really got. And at the moment, they're going 10 million. So, I mean, it's a serious investment in it, but you do make your money, and I promise you do make the money very quickly in mining. As long as you're efficient, clear about what you're doing, and get stuck in with it, you will find that you can make it. I'm making about 1.5 million per trip, targeting the right ores. And so what I'm going to talk about then next is skills, and what we're going to look at is the skill tree. We're not looking at reprocessing. I'm going to do that in a different video. That does affect your price and how much money you can get. That's an important thing to develop. But right now, looking at the pure mining, and see it's under the industrial technology category, under mining. As you see, I've taken the time and upgraded my mining skill to level 5. The reason is you get a massive boost in yield, which is the important bit. So it applies to my mining lasers. It just means I'm that much quicker to fill up my ore hold, and that's great. Part of the advantage of starting in the last week was I had about 500,000 skill points to spend, and I focused a lot of them into the mining categories. I bought advanced mining and trained that up to level 4. Again, same things in terms of increase. Again, strip mining, don't bother. Expert mining, haven't looked at yet. It's 14 million to buy, which I no doubt will buy at some point soon, and do that to increase efficiency even further. So mining skills are vital in terms of getting your efficiency. Secondly, you've got to remember your frigate, and the Venture is a frigate. but it will benefit from the specific skill category for industrial ships, and that just basically means they speed up a bit and they turn a bit faster. The turning thing is actually very useful because that's one of the ways you're going to try and escape if someone comes in and tries to pirate you. Again, as you see, I've skilled that up to level 4. I think I spent the skill points to do that. I haven't gone on to buy the advanced industrial ship command. So those are the things you need to get mining. And that's to get the ore. And what you're going to do is when you go out and mine, and I'll show you in a moment, you're going to mine and you're going to mine to get ore, which you can then reprocess or you can sell. So there are various sorts of ores. I'll just show you what's in. So here we've got spodumene, which is now I forgot what type of ore it is. No, I'll have to go. Look, spodumene is one of the main ones you want to focus on once you've got yourself leveled up. But there are common ores, there are uncommon ores, and then I think they're called rare ores. I'll just double check that now. Special ores, so it's common, uncommon, special, then the higher ones are rare and precious. Early on, you're really not going to look at rare and precious. There's barely a market for them at the moment because all ores go into is creating minerals. When you reprocess, you create the minerals go into building ships and other things for Eve. So you're at the primary part and vital part of the Eve Echoes universe. And so what you're really going to focus on is, if you're very early on, you're going to be focusing on common ores. And it depends. And so the ores come and they appear in different security systems. So there are 3 common ores. If we go look at here, I can go take you through, certainly looking at them in the market. Raw ores. So the 3 common ores are veldspar, plagioclase and scordite. Don't worry about the compressed ores at the moment, just focus on these. Those you'll find in any system, including the high security systems. That's absolutely fine. You can go get veldspar and scordite. You won't find pyroxerxes in high systems, but you will find plagioclase. So veldspar, scordite, plagioclase are your 3 common ores. You'll find them everywhere. At the moment, plagioclase, scordite is the most efficient to mine, but that changes according to price. And then I'm going to talk about that in a different video. So when I get that video, I'll leave a link in for this one. And so you've got to think about what you're focusing on when you go out to mine. Early on in the venture trainer, just go to high security systems. You can't be pirated. No one's going to bother you. You can get your mining done. You can start making some money. Start making some money quite quickly. When you're feeling brave enough to go out to a low sec system, you can mine the ores that are going to make you some serious money. And those are pyroxerxes. I can't say it. I'm just going to call it pyro. Pyro is the best ore to mine as soon as you need to go into a low security system. It will pay you the most, and it's just something you should focus on absolutely straight away. The markets for the minerals is going crazy, so at the moment you can make some serious money. So pyro is a great option. If you're not going to go for pyro, I think dark ochre. These aren't in order here of how rare they are, but dark ochre is an uncommon ore you'll find. You have to be in 0.4 or lower systems to find pyro and dark ochre. You can find ombre and kernite in 0.6 and lower systems, so you can start with those. Again, they'll yield you more money than the common ores, and you can feel safer doing them. But I certainly recommend, if you're feeling brave enough, go out and do the pyro as early as possible. In terms of special ores, spodumene is going to yield you, I think, the best price, and nice is shortly thereafter, and you will struggle to find hemophrite I certainly struggle, but you'll find spodumene in 0.2 and lower, hemophrite in 0.2 and lower, and you'll find gneiss in 0.4 and lower. So pyro is definitely something to focus on if you're going to low sec systems, spodumene if you're going to even the low sec systems. And then the other ores, the much rarer ones, you'll find out in null sec, which starting out I certainly don't recommend. So we're going to go out. I'm going to show you what to do in terms of doing the mining and how to make sure you stay safe doing the mining. So I'm already in a low sec system, so I'm going to undock my miner. And here we're out. So we'd pick the mining tab. Here it will show you what's available. I always prefer asteroid belts because of the way the asteroids are laid out. Asteroid clusters are they're all perfectly fine. Asteroid belts are my preferred ones. So I'll warp in. Some people might say warp in further away. I don't really find it makes a huge difference. Now, if you warp in, what you're looking for is what ships are you're going to find in terms of the system as you get in there. Because if you've got other miners, that's absolutely fine. Everyone's going to be happy, but you've got to watch out for anyone who is pirating, and you're at risk as soon as you jump in. So there's absolutely no one here, which is absolutely fine. As you can see, we've got a list of asteroids here to choose from. I'm going to use pyro. I'm going to target that one, and I'm going to start my lasers. Now, what it will want to do is it'll start the ship orbiting. I'm going to tell it to stop. I'm close enough for my lasers to have effect. I'm just going to sit there for a second. There's another asteroid. I'll lock on it. 2 full asteroids will fill my hold to 100% without any difficulty. So once I finish the first one, the lasers will automatically lock to the second. However, they will start an orbit. I don't like the orbit because if you want to stay super safe in the system, what you want to do is reduce if someone jumps in to pirate you, and I will show you a short one where someone tried to pirate me in a moment. As you can see, I'm mining here, and the pirates that just jumped in, you see he's got the little red marker. Not going to take any chances at all. As soon as he jumped in, I turned on my autopilot, and I'm out of there. And that gives you see how quick that is. That's what you got to do. If you give it a chance, give it time, but you'll see that pirate arrive quicker than they can activate their systems to lock onto you. With the station, do station and approach. As you see, my lasers, they've done 1 round already. Per round I make about 5-6% of the hold, so you'll see I do it quite quickly. So once I'm lined up, I'll stop. I'm still within range for my lasers. That's absolutely no problem. And this way I'm lined up, so that means if anyone jumps in, I can very quickly click on here, click on dock. If I'm feeling super worried, I'll have that open right now and have it set to dock. The alternative as well is you can have your autopilot here set up. As you can see, I've got it here set up, and you press start to go. That's going to be slower. This way I know I'm lined up, so I don't need to take as long to change my position and go. So basically, if someone jumps in with a ship that isn't a mining ship, if it's not a venture, just jump out of that belt or cluster, just leave. Don't wait to see if they're going to attack you, because I've caught people out who obviously waited to see, and I'll hit them with stasis web of fire, I'll hit them with Nosferatu, and my onslaught from my pirating ship will take down a venture and a venture 2 in 2 volleys, which isn't enough time for them to turn around and warp out. So that's something you want to bear in mind. You're always at risk of losing us, but if you set this up, this is the best way. If they hit it, you hit dock like this, and there we go. So you can see it's in that period between you seeing them, you hitting dock and warping out, that you're at risk. That's the best way to do it. So that got me 18% of my hold of pyro. Basically you sit there and then you take it to back, and then you can either sell the ore itself, or you can reprocess the ore into various minerals, and I'm going to do a separate video on that. So check out my next video on reprocessing and the market for minerals, which I'll set out and again go through all the different things. So hopefully this has been of help to you. The one thing I've got to give a big shout out to is Ex-Scoundrel, who's done loads of videos on Eve, who's been really helpful for me in starting in mining and starting other things. So I'm going to link his videos to mining in the description. Please check it out. And then in the next one we're going to talk about, because he's also produced a spreadsheet which is hugely useful in terms of it, which we're also going to talk about. But if you like this, give me a like, give me a subscribe, look out for future content on Eve Echoes, and thanks a lot for sticking around.